everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lara Trump, Wanted for Questioning. I'm sure you got good ones today. I hope I have some good answers. Here we go. Question number 1. Are you ready for the midterm elections? Let me tell you, yes. If the midterms could be held today, I would like those today. You know why? Because everything that President Trump is doing, everything Republicans are doing right now is benefiting our country, is making America safer, making America stronger, making America more secure, helping our businesses here, helping people get more affordable gas, all the things that we all wanted to see happen, we were talking about a year ago, they're happening right now. We're getting better trade deals. We're getting ripped off less by the rest of the world. Our businesses are actually profiting. Do you know that between the months of March and April of this year, we saw our trade deficit almost cut in half? That meant that we were exporting more and importing less. That's great for America. Meanwhile, you got the Democrats out there just doing stunt after stunt after stunt, sitting on the Capitol steps, singing Kumbaya, holding the all night on the Senate floor sessions, like Cory Booker. You know, they're not doing anything that Americans actually care about. In fact, they're causing all kinds of chaos and just rioting and all the things that we've seen go on right now out, especially in California, but they're going to try everywhere else they can, doubling down on crazy stuff like, I don't know, a guy who is a criminal here in the United States, an illegal here in the United States, who they tried to call a Maryland father, who one of their own senators went down and had a margarita with in El Salvador. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. That is where they're putting their focus, not on you as an American citizen, not on the things that are going to better our country. They're doing that kind of crazy stuff. Stunts, again, all stunts, nothing substantive for the American people. So if we could have those midterm elections right here, right now, sign me up, I'm ready to go. Unfortunately for the Democrats, I don't know that they're going to get much better over the next year and a half. And come November of 2026, I'm looking to alter what typically happens. I'm looking to buck history. History tells us that the party that wins the White House typically loses the midterms. This is a time where I feel very inspired that perhaps that is not going to happen. Perhaps the Democrats are going to keep pushing people like Jasmine Crockett out front and center for their party to be the leader and the mouthpiece for their party. I'll tell you what, keep doing that. And as we get closer to 2026, those midterms, I think you guys are going to keep digging yourselves even deeper. So I'm ready for it. I'll tell you who else is ready for it. I think the RNC is ready for it. Obviously, Michael Whatley and I worked there together as chair and co-chair for the 2024 election. We had a great blueprint that we came up with for that election to ensure election integrity, to ensure our voters got out, to ensure early voting happened in places that it typically didn't in this country. We had our eyes on everything. They're going to use that same exact blueprint for these midterms to ensure that we have a free, fair, and transparent election. And quite frankly, we just have better people on our side. So I feel really confident. I feel really positive. But yeah, I'm ready. If we could do them today, I'd say let's do them today. Next question. Why do so many Hollywood performers feel that their hate-filled rhetoric against President Trump makes them so worthy of attention in the news media? Well, these people, I mean, they're suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. And people used to say that term to me, Trump derangement syndrome. And years ago, I was like, is that really, do we really need to? Yeah, we really need to do it because it is a real life thing. And I feel like once you're infected with it, man, it is hard to shake that. Like there is no cure for the Trump derangement syndrome. What I also find about a lot of these celebrities, and I'll put that in air quotes because some of these people, quite frankly, no one cares about at all, but they think they're very important to themselves. They also feel very morally superior. And they feel like because someone somewhere elevated their status and told them that they're important, the people are going to care about what they have to say, and they need to go above and beyond. And because they are so morally superior, they need to come out and just spew their hate for the rest of the country to hear. No one cares. And by the way, they wreck their future job opportunities, I think, a lot of times by doing this stuff. You know why? I'm going to go back to the old adage of the famous Michael Jordan, who said, guess what? Republicans buy sneakers too. We all just want to go out and watch a movie or go to a concert or go, buy some sneakers, quite frankly, and want to feel good about it. I don't want to give my money to somebody who I know is just nasty and hates me and hates my family. I'm not doing that. And most Americans, I think, feel that way. So I would say maybe these people aren't intelligent enough to see around that. Someone has told them that they're very special, and someone has told them that we care to hear what they have to say. But the truth is, we don't. So good luck to them. Okay, next question. Hello, Lara Trump. How are you doing? This is the question. I'm doing great. I always feel like I'm busy. I always feel like I'm just like, it's like a rat race all the time. I went out to California this past weekend. I have a clothing line. You may have heard of it. LaraTrump.com if you want to find out more. We have some new stuff coming out, and I had to do some photos for my new line coming out very soon, a couple weeks. Stay tuned. I'll post it whenever it's time. And I feel like, I don't get enough sleep. I had a nice red eye back on Saturday. That's a terrible flight, by the way. I don't know why. If we could reverse it, it's 6 hours to get out to California. And coming back whenever I'm trying to sleep and trying to get a little bit of sleep, 4.5. So if you're lucky, you got like 3.5 hours of sleep that night. But we just came up to New York for the summer with the kids, the dogs. We got 3 of them now. We added Betty to the crew. Official dogs, 3 officials. So we're good. I've got no complaints. I am blessed. I feel grateful every day that President Trump is in the White House. I feel grateful that I have an awesome family, 2 great kids, 3 great dogs. We could always have more of those dogs, just throwing it out for Eric Trump, a great husband. And we have an opportunity to come up here for the summer. Kids go to summer camp. It's a different scene for them, but it's all good. Yeah, I'm very happy. And I'm very optimistic about the future for my kids and for your kids and America, because we got a great president in the White House who's looking out for all of us. So I'm sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Thank you for asking. As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't just stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike is offering the best deal on his Giza Dream bed sheets. Any size, any color, just $49.98. That's right, you can even get queens, kings, split kings, and California kings, any size, any color, just $49.98. Order now, because when they're gone, they're gone. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive $100 in free digital gifts. Call 1-800-624-3945, use promo code LARA, or go to mypillow.com and make sure you use the promo code LARA for the amazing offer of $49.98 on the Giza Dream Sheets, any size and any color. Number again is 1-800-624-3945. Okay, next question. What's the going rate for the tooth fairy at your house? Now, there was some... I'm glad you asked this question, whoever sent this in. Here's where I stand on it. I remember the tooth fairy coming, and I get that inflation is a thing. The tooth fairy used to bring me like stuff that jingled. Maybe I got like 50 cents from the tooth fairy, if I'm not mistaken. The tooth fairy left Carolina. She lost her first tooth last week. $4. Now I felt like that was pretty solid. In fact, I thought that maybe the tooth fairy had overpaid a little bit, but that's where she went with it. I'm not one to say she did her own thing. And then the next day, in conversation with people, someone asked her, how much did the tooth fairy bring? She goes, $4. She was jazzed about it, by the way. All good. And this person says to her, only $4? Only $4? Apparently the tooth fairy at this person's house brings like $20. Are you crazy? I don't know what the average rate is out there at people's houses. Maybe you guys can send me information on this. I felt like the tooth fairy did the right thing at my house. I felt like that was very generous of her to come in at $4. The $20, imagine the tooth fairy's giving $20 a pop for these little baby teeth, the little bottom one. It was one right in the front and bottom. What are we giving for the molars? What are we, $100? She's got to go to the ATM, get $500 out for these? Absolutely not. I felt $4 was great. So shout out to the tooth fairy. Thanks for showing up at our house. She almost didn't come But last minute she came in, and that was at $4. I think 20 is absolutely outrageous. I don't know. Anybody out there has a tooth fairy coming in with 20 bucks, please send me a message. Okay, next question. How dangerous is AI? Well, so I've talked about AI. This is just my personal hot take on it for a long time. It really scares me. Here's the thing. I see so much promise in it, and I see the good side of it. You know, I interviewed Elon for my Fox show a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things we talked about was AI, and he basically said that AI has to be programmed by people with good and solid intentions, and if it is not, it's just horrifying, the prospects of it, right? I read an article the other day, some Google analyst, some guy who's some high techie guy at Google wrote this article about how he originally used to say that by 2050, he was worried that AI would basically outsmart humans and kind of take things over. He has taken that down to now 2039, where he feels like that's the time frame in which we're going to see AI just really, I mean, think about this. Yeah, I get it, the humans program it, but it gets smarter by the day, and it learns by the day, and it adapts. It is very much Terminator, Rise of the Machines. It's very much in that realm to me. And you think about how much is controlled in our day-to-day life, in our country, in our world, by computers. Imagine AI takes over. Imagine that by 2039, it's like, you know what? These humans aren't doing what I want them to do. I'm just going to shut down the water processing plant down the street. I'm just going to shut off any ability for them to get water. I'm just saying, I don't want to freak anybody out, but I think we have to be ready for it. I think we need to be thinking about what it could all mean for our overall society. I am terrified of AI, if I'm being really honest. And I'll tell you something else I don't like about it. I don't like how lazy I think it's making people. You know, once upon a time, there was something called the Dewey Decimal System. Anybody remember that? Yeah. I remember in elementary school having to go to the library, use the Dewey Decimal System to look up a book, to take something out, to do your research in an actual physical book so that you could write a paper or whatever it was you were doing. And then, of course, we transitioned to, okay, you can do your research online. I'm still okay with that. What I'm not okay with is us being able to literally go on ChatGPT or one of these other, AI outlets and type in, write me a 1,000-word paper on X, Y, and Z, and then it just does it for you. And I kind of feel like you can generally tell when AI does something these days, but my husband plays around with it with his friends, and they'll write each other these funny poems and send them around. They're really good. And so for me, I just don't like it because I think there's so much value in what it takes to sit down and use your brain to do something. I still make myself do longhand math all the time. Every month, whenever I'm figuring out, finances for things, I sit down with a piece of paper and I write it out. You know why? Because if you don't use it, you lose it. We're in this space right now where I feel like these kids are like, I'll just type it into my phone and ChatGPT is going to give me whatever it is I need. I don't love that aspect of it either. I get how great it can be. Something else Elon told me was that in 6 months to a year, people who were born blind might have this ability to see because of AI and all the technology he's developing. There's so many great uses for it, but on the other side of it, it's really a double-edged sword because I see the horrifying side of it too. And just saying, 2039, guys, live it up now. It's when the machines take over. It's when we're done. It's all said and done. So good luck to all of us. Final question. Have you ever played disc golf before? It is fun. Okay, I think one time. I feel like I'm going to say in high school, PE class or something, I feel like we had a disc golf session of some variety, but no. Look, I don't have time to play regular golf. If I get time to do something, there are very specific things that I'm trying to do. Something I haven't done in years that I used to do all the time is ride horses. I used to be this absolute horse freak, and I still love them. To be around a horse and just the smell of a horse. All you horse people out there know what I'm talking about. It's the greatest. I haven't had any time for that, okay? Last year, we had to win an election, okay? I had a lot of pressure on me to make sure. I'm the only Trump at the Republican National Committee. I was the co-chair of the party. You think I was letting everybody down? Absolutely not. No time for riding then. And then we had this election, and now here I am. I've got probably too many jobs. I got too many things going. I still haven't gotten on a horse, and I don't even know how long it's been. It's probably been about a year since I've ridden. I'm gonna make it a point very soon. I got to do it like in the next week or two because Carolina wants to get on a horse too. So we got to do that. Disc golf? No, I have not really invested in disc golf. Sounds cool. I'm all about it. I'm assuming this is like with Frisbees, if memory serves correctly. But yeah, look, I'm always looking for fun athletic things to do. Maybe I can get my kids doing that because we got a couple of weeks until this camp starts up here. And these kids are tearing the walls down in my house. I got to get them something to do. So maybe it is disc golf. Thank you to whoever sent that in. All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. I loved these questions today. Thank you. Make sure you post more under this episode or under any of our social media. I'll do my best to answer them. Let me know how much the Tooth Fairy is bringing at your house because I didn't know that $20 was like way over the top for me. I thought $4 was fantastic. I thought that was a great deal for Carolina. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow, and we'll see you back here next time for more of Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning.